Hello students. In last lecture we studied about the physical quantities, density and pressure to understand the behavior of fluid. And also we discussed about hydrostatics and hydrodynamics pressure. Hydrostatic pressure means we are considering the fluids are at rest position. For example, potential energy of the fluid, that is water, produces an electricity in hydroelectric power station. And in hydrodynamics pressure, for example, windmill. In windmill, the kinetic energy of the fluid, that is air, produces an electricity. So these are the hydrostatics and hydrodynamics pressure. And also it is very common example when the diver dives inside the water, he feels there is increase in pressure, right? On contrary, if the mountaineer rises up, he will feel the decrease in pressure. So this decrease in pressure of the mountaineer and increase in pressure of the diver, these pressures are also called as the hydrostatic pressure because the fluids are at rest position. So to understand this in detail, we will consider this is the container. It is filled with fluid, that is water, and above the water this is air. So this is the intermediate surface which separates air and water, and the pressure increases with the depth that we have to show. So to show this, we will consider an imaginary cylinder of cross-sectional area A and the height h. Now the weight of the liquid inside the container is equal to mg. So this weight will produce the weight, or this weight of the liquid will produce the force to the bottom as well as to the walls of the container. But for the walls of the container, these two forces are equal and opposite, so they will cancel each other, and only the force exerted in downward direction towards the bottom in normal direction. So the force exerted will equal to the weight of the liquid exerted in the downward direction, that is equal to mg. So this mg we can write in terms of density also, as the density inside the container, density of the liquid is rho. So we know the relation density is equal to mass upon volume. So mass is equal to density into volume. So this volume also we can write in terms of the cross-sectional area and the height. So mass is equal to rho into A into H. Right. Now this is the force. Substituting this M here. So this force will equal to rho A H into G. Now we know that the pressure equals to force upon area. So this substituting this value, this area will cancel out, and we have the standard formula: pressure is equal to H rho G. What is H? It is the height at which we are finding the pressure. What is rho? It is density of the fluid. G is acceleration due to gravity. What does it indicate? That pressure depends upon the height only. If we are going deep and deep inside the fluid, pressure increases. It does not depend upon the cross-sectional area. It depends upon height only. So this is the simple expression. The pressure is H rho G, which is called the hydrostatic pressure. Now, to find out pressure at different points, we have the another derivation here, that is container. Consider the container filled with water. This is the intermediate surface. Again, above it there is air which produces an atmospheric pressure, and this is intermediate surface, and below this there is fluid, or we say this it is a water. Again we imagined the imaginary cylinder of cross-sectional area A, and we will consider the 2 points pressure at 2 points, let P1 and P2 at two different points. Now for the reference, we are considering this is the y-axis, positive y-axis, we will consider 0 over here. So this is positive y-axis. If it is 0, then this will be negative axis, right? So pressure at this point, you call this point, this pressure is y1, and at the point, at this point, the pressure is y2. Or pressure at the point P, at the point y1 is P1, at the point y2, the pressure is P2. Y1 and y2, they are two extreme points, that is top of the cylinder and bottom of the cylinder. Now we will consider the forces acting on this imaginary cylinder. One is the force acting to this top of the cylinder due to the liquid above the cylinder. So this force we represented by F1, right? So F1 is the force acting due to the liquid above the cross-sectional area of the cylinder. Now inside the cylinder, water or fluid is there. It will produce the pressure in downward direction, that is towards the bottom of the cylinder. Now at the bottom of the cylinder, the fluid is this bottom fluid will experience a force in upward direction. The fluid which is below this cross-sectional area, it will experience the force in upward direction. So if the fluid is in equilibrium, so upward forces must be equal to downward forces. So if we draw the free body diagram, so this is the force F1 acting in downward direction, the weight also acting in downward direction, and this force F2 is acting in vertically upward direction. Resultant of all these forces must be the same. So we can compare, downward force must be equal to upward force. So F2 is equal to, upward force is equal to, downward forces are F1 plus mg. Now from the definition of the pressure, pressure is equal to force upon area. So the force on the top of the cylinder, F1 will equal to P1 into A. Similarly, F2 force on the bottom of the cylinder will equal to P2 into A. Again, using the density concept, density is equal to mass upon volume. So mass is equal to density into volume. So density is rho, volume will equal to area into the distance. Now this distance is, we have to measure this much height. So if this is the origin, O here, so this distance will minus y1 and this distance will minus y2, because we are going below the y-axis. So the difference will equal to minus y2 minus of minus y1. So it will be y1 minus y2. So this change in the levels will equal to y1 minus y2. So substituting this value, so A cross-sectional area is cancelled. So the remaining terms are P2 equals to P1 plus rho g into y1 minus y2. So P2 minus P1 will equal to y1 minus y2 rho into g. So using this equation, equation number 4 can be used to find the pressure at different points inside the liquid. Okay. Now, here what we are considering, both the surfaces of an imaginary cylinder is dipped inside the water or inside the fluid. Now, secondly, also we can imagine that the top of the imaginary cylinder touches with the top surface of the water or the open surface of the fluid. So this is the second diagram. This is the open surface of the fluid and the imaginary cylinder touches over here, and this is the bottom surface. Same thing, cross-sectional area is A. Now here the again reference line is y-axis. This point is y1. The pressure is at y1 will equal to, here the above it there is atmosphere. So only atmosphere pressure will act, that is represented by P0. This point is y2 and the pressure at the point y2 is P. Right. So using this equation, equation number 4, here P2 is replaced by the atmospheric pressure P. P1 is replaced by, P2 is replaced by the pressure P. P1 is replaced by the atmospheric pressure P0. Here Y1 is equal to 0. As per our reference line, Y1 is equal to 0 and Y2 is equal to minus H. If H is the height of an imaginary cylinder, so it will be minus H. So substituting these values in this equation number 4. So equation number 4 will become P is equal to P0 plus H rho G. Okay. So this is called P0 plus H rho G. This is called the absolute pressure. In absolute pressure, this represents the atmospheric pressure and this represents hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure, because the fluid is at rest position. So this entire quantity P is called as the absolute pressure. The absolute pressure is the combination of atmospheric pressure plus hydrostatic pressure. Now, to get the gauge pressure, it is the simple one. You have to bring this P0 on that side. So it will become this equation we can write as here. This equation can be written as P minus P0 is equal to H rho G. So this H rho G, which is the hydrostatic pressure, it is also called as the gauge pressure, or P minus P0 is also called as the gauge pressure. Right? So what is absolute pressure? It is the summation of atmospheric pressure plus hydrostatic pressure. What is gauge pressure? It is the hydrostatic pressure is also called as the gauge pressure. If we subtract the atmospheric pressure from the absolute pressure, the term which comes we call as it is the gauge pressure. So this is all about absolute pressure and the gauge pressure. What we consider, the cylinder, imaginary cylinder, it is well dipped inside the water or inside the fluid, and in the second case we imagine that the cylinder, upper surface of the cylinder touches the water level or top of the water level. Now in next article we will study how to find out the atmospheric pressure. Thank you.